And the subjective judgment is one of the social validity methods, and it is a popular method for quantifying subjective judgment, utilizing the development of a mastery of paired corporations. And before the formal study, the pilot study will be considered first. And the participants of the pilot study are members of the Department of English at NTIT. Okay, and including one native English teacher and 37 students in the native English teachers conversation class, and it will be the interview for the native English teacher and the questionnaires, and also six interviews for the 37 students. About the result of the pilot study, we found that the native English teacher had different beliefs and expectations on teaching from Taiwanese students. And also, the communication problems exist not only in teaching but also in working with local English teachers and administrators at schools. And that's why the participants of my formal study, I will try to investigate the members of a school in central Taiwan, including the native English teachers and the administrators at the same department. Okay, and the participants will choose by their personal information, their workplace background, their jobs and positions, working experience. Okay, and about the instruments, for the native English teacher, I will do the in-depth interview, including the face-to-face interview, the 2 hours, and it spends about 2 hours and recorded, open-ended questions, and member checking, and also the follow-up interviews. And also for the documentary analysis, for including the organizing, reading, describing, classifying, and interpreting. Okay, and for the administrators, it will be separated into the administrator assistants and the teaching assistants, and also the student assistants. And before the data analysis, the reliability and the validity will be considered in this study. Okay, so for the reliability, the investigator's position, including the basis for selecting informants, and an audio trail consisting of interview texts and transcriptions will be used to ensure the reliability of this research. And also for the validity of this study, the member checking will be used, and the interview and the open-ended questionnaires of the study will be applied to the between method of methodological triangulation. So, about the procedure, I will do an interview for the native English teachers, for the 3 native English teachers and about 20 administrators at the STEM department, and use the questionnaires, and also do the data analysis for the interviews and the questionnaires. And now I want to introduce the format about the interview and the questionnaires. Okay, so first of all, about the interview, they're including 2 parts. The first part is about the working adjustment, and the second part is about their life adjustment. And for the questionnaires for the administrators, including their personal background and the cultural organizations, and their administrations, and the community actions. And the final part is about the cross-cultural adjustment. So, depends on these two interviews and the questionnaires formats. The research question 1 and question 2 is about the cross-cultural adjustment, and it will include the interview part 1 and part 2, and the questionnaires part 2 and part 3. And for research question, for the research question 3 and question 4, focus on the expectations and trainings. So it will consider the part 1 and part 2 interview, and also part 4 and part 5 of the questionnaires. Okay, so that's all for my presentation. Sorry. And then there is the last part of the suggestions from my committee member. And first of all, it's making the definition of terms shorter. And it mentioned about, because I do the definition of terms at the chapter 1, and it's about the definition of culture. But my committee member who advised that maybe I can definition it in chapter 2. Okay, and also add the list of literature review, make a list like that. And the third one is note the limitation of the study. Yeah, and the first one is design the interviews of students. Because one of my committee members mentioned that I use the triangulation, so that means maybe I have to consider 3 parts of the study. So not only the native English teachers and administrators, but also the students. I will consider it. And she also gave me the suggestion that maybe I can choose 3 to 5 students in each native English teachers class. Okay, so that is all my presentation. Thank you.